Okay, so introduction. Akbar, Abul Fatah Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. Okay, he was born when 14th October 1542, and his death was when 1605. Okay, he was the third Mughal emperor. All right, we saw Babur, we saw Humayun, and then this is the third Mughal emperor, who's Akbar. Clear, children? Now, where was he born? He was born in Umarkot, which is now in Pakistan, and he was the son of the second Mughal emperor, who was the second Mughal emperor? Humayun. Okay, and in between, see, if you will make a note of it, we are going according to the tree diagram, family tree diagram. First we studied about Babur, then we studied about Humayun, and then we saw Humayun's rule was divided into two different paths. All right, and in between Sher Shah Suri had come. Right now, Sher Shah Suri, when he came in between, what had happened? We started one entire chapter of Sher Shah Suri. Okay, and then now we are studying about the third Mughal emperor, that is Akbar. Clear? Okay, so Akbar became the king in the year 1556. Please underline that. He became the king in the year 1556, and at that time he was of 13 years. Can you imagine? Just 13 years. Okay, when his father died. Okay, he was just 13 years when his father died. Bairam Khan was appointed as Akbar's regent. Okay, soon after coming to power, Akbar defeated Hemu. Who was Hemu? He was the general of the Afghan forces. And which battle did he defeat Hemu? In the second battle of Panipat. You remember we had done the first battle of Panipat, children?
Yes, ma'am.
When did we do first battle of Panipat?
When we were studying Babur.
Yes.
Babur.
Or it was fought between Babur and who?
Ibrahim Lodi.
And who won this battle?
Babur.
Babur won this battle. And although, if you remember, we also saw that although Babur was having comparatively less army men as compared to Ibrahim Lodi, right? But still he could win the war because he used
Gained in might.
Yes, he used different strategies. Now this is second battle of Panipat. That is fought between whom?
Akbar and Hemu.
And who was Hemu?
The general of the Afghan forces.
Yes. Now we'll see what happens. After a few years, he ended the regency of Bairam Khan and took charge of the kingdom. He initially offered friendship to the Rajputs. However, he had to fight against some Rajputs who opposed him. Okay. In the year 1576, he underlined, this is very important, he defeated Maharana Pratap of Mewar. Okay. He defeated Maharana Pratap of Mewar in which battle? In the battle of Haldighati. Okay. Please underline this. These battles, they might ask you as an objective type of questions. All right. Now, Akbar's wars made the Mughal Empire more than twice as big as it had been before. And now it covered almost the Indian subcontinent except the southern part. Okay, so now if you will see, Akbar, when he took up the throne, he also had, challenges to face, right? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So similarly, over here, he also had, different enemies who were against him, but he defeated all his enemies, all right? And what had happened? He defeated even Maharana Pratap of Mewar. And now, Akbar, who was the third Mughal emperor, he expanded his territories. in the entire Indian subcontinent, okay, except the southern part. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we will learn more about Akbar. So Akbar's system of central government was based on the system that had evolved since the Delhi Sultanate. This chapter may regale you with Akbar Birbal tales or inadvocacies of Akbar, but it will surely show you the many reasons that made him great. So, you know, Akbar got this title of great, right? Yes, from whom? From the people who's in his territories. Okay. Now, in this particular chapter, we will also learn about the tales of Akbars and Birbals, right? And we will see that how did Akbar do the administrative system? If you remember, while studying Sher Shah Suri, we also studied that Akbar had, accepted or followed most of the changes, reforms which were brought up by Sher Shah. Yes? Okay.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
early regency, battles, and conquests. So we learn much in detail about Akbar. So what is the period of Akbar's rule? From 1556 to 1605. Name: Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. Birth: 14th October 1542. Okay. And his reign, that means his ruling period, was from 27th January 1556 to 27th October 1605. Okay. Death: 27th October 1605, when he was 63 years old. Okay. Akbar consolidated the Mughal Empire in India and propounded his own religious policy, which was called as deeni. Okay. During his exile, now we'll study what happens further. Okay. During his exile, Humayun had married a Persian princess named Hamida Begum. Okay, please underline this. You know, exile means, you remember, Humayun had escaped because of the defeat from Sher Shah Suri.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now Humayun had escaped. Now, when he was staying, and at that time there was one person who had helped him out. Who was that person?
The
Shah
Shah
of Persia.
Shah
of Persia.
Okay. So now when he was staying in exile, what did he do? He married the princess whose name was Hamida Begum in the year 1542. Abu al-Fatah Jalal Akbar was born. Humayun regained the Mughal throne only in 1555, 10 years after the death of Sher Shah Suri. Okay, so until Sher Shah Suri was there, Humayun did not even plan his comeback. When Sher Shah Suri died, at that time, you know, he took up the throne. After that, he planned his comeback, and then he took over the throne. Clear? I understood till here, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please underline this. Humayun regained the Mughal throne only in 1555, that is 10 years after the death of Sher Shah Suri. Clear? Now, following the accidental death of his father, Humayun, in the year 1556, okay, a young Akbar had to administer his father's loosely established and newly acquired territories. So do you remember, we just learned that Akbar was of what age when he took up the throne? 13 years. Okay, so, and we all know Humayun died accidentally, right? While studying the chapter, we know that Humayun died accidentally. Now, when his father died accidentally, he had no choice, rather than taking up the throne and to establish the newly acquired territories by his father. Okay, too young, he was very young. 13 years is what? 15 years, you will finish your 10th standard. 13 years means what? You would be in which grade? Or 8th grade. Can you imagine? Just 1 year elder to you. So he was too young, he was inexperienced to rule over the Mughal Empire. Akbar assumed power when he was 18 years old. Until then, the Mughal Empire was ruled by his guardian, Bairam Khan. This is very, very important. Okay, so he was 13 years when his father died. Okay, so and he was too young and he was too inexperienced. So meanwhile, Akbar could grow and take over the power, and he would reach the age of 18 years. Who took over the charge of the Mughal Empire?
Bairam
It
Khan.
was Bairam Khan. So he did not rule as a king. He was just handling it. Okay, as a Mughal empire employee. Okay, like that only. So he was not a ruler. He would just administer. He would just take care of the Mughal Empire. That's it. Until Akbar would take the charge. Clear? Now, Bairam Khan regency. So we know from where do we get this name, Bairam Khan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Bairam Khan's regency. Upon ascending the throne, Akbar was helped and guided by his father's faithful, general, and confident Bairam Khan. Okay, so after his father died, who guided him? It was the faithful. Yes, it was Bairam Khan. And what qualities of Bairam Khan is mentioned over here? He was very faithful.
Akbar was helpful.
Yes. Okay. For 4 years, this Atalik, meaning regent, looked after the affairs of the state on behalf of Akbar. Okay. So he was just looking after the state on behalf of Akbar, but he himself was not ruling it. All right. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. He assumed the title Khane Khanam. Okay, the title Khane Khanam was given to who? To Bairam Khan. Okay, Khane Khanam. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And how did he assume this title? Because of his faithfulness, because of the way he took care of the territory on behalf of Akbar. Okay, and he was the main guidance for Akbar. When Akbar also took over the throne, he was a person who guided Akbar initially at the initial stage. Okay, and was very influential in decisions that Akbar took as the Mughal emperor. Okay, so as I told you, in the initial stage, whenever Akbar would take any decision, he would definitely give his opinion or advise him. Okay, next page. During this time, Akbar immersed himself in sport activities, while Bairam administered and controlled the empire. Okay, so now see, age of 18 years is still like a teenager, right? So he was he immersed as himself as in sports activities, and still it was Bairam Khan who also got the title of Khane Khanam. He was still looking at all the administrative process of the territories which were under his rule. Clear? Now,
Yes.
early on, Akbar had many challenges to face. The Rajput, now challenges means definitely the enemies
Yes.
of the king. So underline this: the Rajput rulers were gaining power and looking for opportunities to drive the Mughals away. Okay, the Afghan rule. So one enemy, the Rajput rulers. Okay, you can put it in a point form so that you all can remember. Number one is the Rajput rulers who were giving power and they were looking for opportunities to remove these Mughal emperor. Okay, Mughal rule. Second was the Afghan rule. Okay, during the Suri dynasty seemed incomplete. Adil Shah, one of the successors of Sher Shah Suri, wished to re-establish the Afghan rule in India. This is important. This is the second point. Okay. Number one, it was Rajput rulers. Number two, it was Adil Shah. And Adil Shah, who was Adil Shah? He was the successor of Sher Shah Suri.
Sher Shah Suri.
Okay, and now see, what was his aim and objective? He also wanted to remove the Mughal Empire, and he wanted to re-establish
Afghan rule in India.
his Afghan rule in India, which was started by whom?
Sher Shah.
Sher Shah Suri.
Clear? Everyone understood till here?
Yes,
ma'am.
He also found his own brother, Adam Khan, guilty of a conspiracy in his own palace. Please underline. The third enemy you could say was his own brother. What was his own brother's name? Adam Khan. Okay.
Adam Khan.
What was Adam Khan doing? Although he was staying with Akbar in his own palace, but he was, creating conspiracies against Akbar, because somewhere he also had an aim to take over the throne from Akbar, and he wanted to become the king instead of Akbar. Clear?
Yes.
So he did not, his aim was not to change the Mughal empire or Mughal rule. He just wanted to have the throne and enjoy the powers. Clear? So you remember, like this, we had a question about the enemies, even for the previous ruler we had studied in the previous class. You'll tell me which? Who are they? Humayun. You remember over there also we had listed 3 enemies?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So similarly over here we have listed 3 points, 3 enemies. So if at all you get a question like you got in this particular exams, your FA2 exam, you had a question based upon this, right, children? Yes,
ma'am.
yes. So similarly, if you get a question about the enemies of Akbar, you can write down these 3 points. Clear? Now, we have already studied about first battle of Panipat. During which ruler's rule?
Babur.
Babur.
Babur. Okay. Now we will study more about the second battle of Panipat. Early on during his rule, Akbar had to face the formidable and ambitious Afghani Adil Shah. So the main, enemy or the person who gave him the tough time was Adil Shah, and he belonged to which rule? Afghan rule.
Afghan.
Yes, his general. So Hemu was whose general? Adil Shah's general. Okay, he was working for Adil Shah, who was an Afghan ruler. Hemu had occupied Delhi and Ajmer. Okay, please underline that. He declared himself as an independent ruler and called himself Hema Chandra Vikramaditya. Please underline. So what did Hemu do? His real name is what? Is it Hemu?
No.
What is his name? Which
Hema
he called
Chandra Vikramaditya.
Hema Chandra Vikramaditya. Okay. Against all the odds, with the superior Afghan force and better military leader, Baram Khan decided to spring a surprise on Hemu. Please underline this. Baram Khan decided to spring a surprise on Hemu. So what was Hemu doing? He was first of all the general of Adil Shah. Adil Shah belonged to the Afghan rule. What was Adil Shah's aim? He wanted to establish his rule only. Okay, he wanted to remove the Mughal rule. And his general Hemu, what did he do? He took over Delhi and Ajmer, and he himself declared that I am the ruler of these particular territories. So definitely the Mughal rule was under the rule of Baram Khan, who was temporarily looking on behalf of Akbar, right? He would definitely take an action. He would not keep quiet. So what did Baram Khan do? What did Baram Khan do?
He decided to spring the surprise attack
on him. Okay. So now the Mughal and the Afghan forces, they met in November 1556 at Panipat. Okay, please underline. 30 years earlier, the foundation of the Mughal dynasty was laid when Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi at the same place. First battle, you remember, it was fought between Babur and Ibrahim Lodi, and Babur was successful in defeating Ibrahim Lodi. Same place, okay, but just the generations have changed. Okay, same place. Now, instead of Ibrahim Lodi, we have Adil Shah. Instead of Babur, we are having Akbar. But who Akbar's army is led by whom? Bairam Khan. Because on behalf of Akbar is administrating, right? So now, have you understood till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions till here, children?
No, ma'am.
No questions? Okay. So, even though the Afghan army was mightier and better equipped with war elephants, Hemu was defeated. So, same story. Can you see the same story being repeated?
Yes, ma'am.
It's just
Yes,
the
ma'am.
generation has changed, right? So now what had happened? Please underline this. So second battle of Panipat was fought between Hemu and between Akbar, right? Or you can say Bairam Khan. Right?
Bairam Khan.
Yeah. Now in this, Hemu got defeated. Although Hemu was, very well equipped with war weapons and with war elephants, right? When an arrow pierced his eye, Hemu's troops were confused and began to disperse. Akbar and Bairam Khan, okay? So Akbar along with Bairam Khan used this opportunity to strike and defeat Hemu. This battle sealed the fate of the Afghans and firmly established Mughal control in Delhi, Agra, Ajmer once more. Clear? So what did Akbar and Bairam Khan do? See, they met at battle of Panipat for the second time to defeat Hemu. And Hemu, although he was having war elephants and he was well equipped, what was the thing? Why did he lose the battle? See, an arrow pierced his eyes. So the people, his own army men, thought that he is now defeated, and they started dispersing from the battlefield. Okay, and both Akbar and Bairam Khan saw this and they took it as an opportunity. Okay, and they defeated Hemu. Now, whatever you remember, Hemu had declared occupied Akbar, Delhi and Ajmer, and he declared himself as an independent ruler. So now, after defeating Hemu, they took over Delhi, they took over Ajmer, they took over Agra once again from Hemu. Understood till here? Second battle of Panipat?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Everyone understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.